I talk to you like I'm FaceTiming you. Hopefully you can see me. You know, soy de color de piel humilde, o sea, no sé si me pueden ver bien, pero ojalá que sí. How you guys doing? I have this backpack on me. Get me fucking comfortable. Pero, ¿cómo están? How y'all doing, bro? I really want to yap it up to y'all about a whole lot of different things. One of the biggest things is how my life played out, you know? This year, you know? Bro, this year, it was the year of the most growth ever in my life, bro. Nothing but challenges and trials that I had to overcome. There was no excuses. There was no nothing. Like, overcoming that shit, period, bro. See, me, bro, I'm a really freedom soul. I hated working a 9 to 5, a regular job, bro, like 5 days a week. What? But I'm not doing, like, I was not doing that shit, bro. I'll instantly jump into, like, fast money, but fast money crash money, bro. That's how the universe knock you off. If you really, oh, hold on, guys. I was having a little technical difficulty. But if you're really spiritual, bro, the universe ain't gonna let you get fast money. Like, whether it be through trapping, all that shit, that shit gonna get knocked off. Like, don't even do it, bro. For real, don't even try to do it, bro. It's gonna end up bad for you. So, boom, bro. This year, bro, so much shit happened, bro. Like, I'm talking about in terms of me growing, bro. A lot of bullshit. My whip getting totaled. I have no money to pay it. Like, stuff like that, bro. Situations, like, you know. But I realized it was, well, I'm not gonna get into it in this video, bro, because I have to make a whole separate video about it. But you go through something called your pre-Saturn return in your early 20s before you turn 29, when your real Saturn return hits. And I was like, damn, I realized every single girl I was attracting, because you know I have Saturn in the 11th house in Gemini. If you know, you know. If you know what that means, you know what that means, bro. I'm not gonna explain it here. But I noticed every girl I attracted, bro, was all February sign. All of them, bro. Like, every single one of them was all born in February. This entire year. That's never happened to me, bro. All of them were all February babies. All of them were all fucking Aquariuses, which is, they're ruled by Saturn. And that basically led me through the path of healing myself. And once I realized I was in a Saturn, pre-shadow Saturn return, it all made sense. I was like, oh, okay, this is Saturn. This is literally some Saturn shit. Okay, bet. I noticed the effects of Saturn in my life. Like, you know, I felt very isolated, very alone, very hurt. I don't want to say depressed or anything, because I wasn't, but I just felt very isolated, very alone, and every situation was tough, bro. Like, I barely had money just to put gas in my tank to go to work type shit. Like, and I had to make it, bro. I had to make this shit work. I had to work 5 days a week, 12-hour shifts in the sun during summer in Dallas, Texas, bro. If you from Texas, period, bro, you know that our summers, like, are not small. Like, 6-7 months gonna be straight heat, bro. It's already like November. They already passed half of November, and it's already like still hot as fuck. It's 90 degrees out here, like, still. So that should tell you everything you need to know. Boom, bro. I be thugging it out these summers, bro. Going to work, like, I'll stay up drinking, bro. You know, I'll be off different types of alcohols, like absinthe or, you know, different unique shit, bro. I'll be off that drink, bro. I'll go to work, bro. I'll wake up the next day hungover as fuck. I'll still go to work. I do that shit 5 times a day, bro. Like, you know, 5 days a week. Do that shit. I started stacking my money. I started budgeting my money. I started changing the cycle that I always kept repeating, because it was always a repeated cycle, and I knew this was the last time. Like, I could not repeat this cycle no more. I knew I was too grown to keep repeating it. I felt it. I knew it. I intuitively knew this shit. So I ended up, last year I had moved to Vancouver, Washington. You know, boom, I moved there. A lot of shit ended up happening. I had to come back. When I came back, I was back in the same position I was in 2022 and 2023. Back at the same job I was then, bro. Because, you know, that job, they hire felons and people that are on work release for prison. I got hella face tattoos, you know, like, they hired me, like, they've been hiring me. Like, I can go in that, like, I literally left that house for like a year, came back like it was not shit, like, and they still direct deposited my money on the same bank account. Like, literally, like, it was not shit to go back. So I came back. And I knew this was my last time facing this cycle, bro. I felt it. I knew. I'm like, bro, I gotta get it right here, bro. I was broke as fuck, and I would still be bullshitting, bro. I would only go 2 times, 3 days out of the week. The rest of the time, I'd be hitting the gym, walking the trail, exploring, finding myself. But I knew deep down, like, bro, I gotta lock in. I gotta start making some bread, like. And listen, when you're going through your pre-Saturn return, I'm gonna have to make a whole video about this shit by itself. But whenever you're going through your pre-shadow Saturn return, which, like I said, you go through in your early 20s before you turn 29, you know. When I was going through that period, bro, I knew I had to lock in, but I didn't want to sacrifice me working out, me finding myself. I didn't want to do that, bro, but I had to, bro, because I had to make some bread, bro. And it doesn't matter in what ways you try that. Like, if you try to make a business, you're gonna fuck off. Like, that business is gonna like fail completely. Like, which is why a lot of young entrepreneurs try these businesses and they fail early on. It's because they're in your pre-Saturn return, which is you got to learn these lessons that you have to learn that are gonna help you whenever all the abundance truly does come. You now have the discipline and the energy and you now have the type of soul and the type of energy around you, your type of aura. Like, literally your aura can now handle that type of money, that big money. You're not gonna fuck it off. You're gonna learn about investment because life's gonna force you to learn about that shit. Your business is gonna fail so many times that you got no choice but to learn how to invest, but to learn how to hold your money, but to learn how to do shit the right way, you know? And if you don't do that path, which is the business path, you're gonna have to do a job path, which is staying down, keeping your head down, thugging it out at a job, and not choosing that fast money, crash money route, which is like, you know, selling drugs, trapping, you know, the whole deal, bro. You know, get that fast money shit, you know? So boom, I stayed disciplined to this job, bro. I remember, like, I would not go to the gym. Like, you know me, I've never gone to the gym more than, not going to the gym for me more than 2 weeks is crazy. Like, that's insane. Like, I'm not doing that shit. But it got to that point, bro. You know, I didn't go to the gym for like 2 weeks, bro. I was just there thugging it out at that job, bro. Draining ass job, nothing but negative, low vibrational ass people. I swear to God, bro, I was the only person there vibing high. You know, no cap, bro. And there was so many days, bro, where shit just hit the fan in crazy different ways, bro. Like, you know, one time, bro, you know, like I said, bro, I'm staying out here in Dallas. You know, I'm from this bitch, but I'm also, you know, shout out to Memphis, bro. I put Memphis on my back too, bro. I stayed out there in Memphis for a good amount of time, out there in Murder 8. But I drove to Arlington to go link with one of my homeboys, bro. Man, bro, on the way back, I crashed my whip, bro. Drunk as fuck. I was like, damn, I hit some Mexican dude, bro. And I'm Mexican too, but he was on dead ass on some tripping shit. And he was tripping, bro. My whip was the one that had all the damage. His shit, not even a scratch. And I was like, come on, bro, let me make it. And he was like, nah, hell no, I'm gonna hold you. I'm like, all right, bet, bro. Whatever, call the laws, what you gotta do. Not so sure, I gave him 100 that I didn't even have, bro. I had 100, that was my last 100. I got home, bro, I was crashing out. I was like, man, bro, fuck. If my people see this whip, they gonna be tripping, bro. Boy, as soon as I'm going home, my people outside, I'm like, fuck, bro. Everything hit the fan, you know. I realized, like, bro, I can't keep repeating this cycle. I wasn't even working for real. I just kept repeating the same cycle. Everything kept hitting the fan in different ways, bro. And I felt it, I knew it. And I was like, bro, I gotta change this shit. I can't keep repeating this, bro. And I didn't. I locked in. I was like, bro, this is the last time I'm ever gonna go through this shit. Summer hit, bro. Cause this happened like during the, but you know, you're from Texas, bro. Summer start early in the hoe. Like, spring is already summer. Like, you know, it's gonna be hot. But this happened like around the month before June. But when June hit, I truly locked in. I managed to save enough money at my job. Like, I've never saved this much money at a job ever. So I was proud of myself, because that's something for me to be proud of. And even now, I'm really grateful for the money I have saved from that job, bro. You know, the cycle kept repeating. I was like, bro, I gotta lock in. I gotta change this path, bro. I gotta do something, bro. I can't keep, you know. I kept, you know, saving this money, bro. Saving this money enough to now fund my new move, because I'm moving to Washington State in December the 2nd, which is my little sister's birthday. So shout out to my little sister, she's watching this. But that's her birthday. I'm moving on that day. And bro, it's honestly surreal, bro. Because last year when I moved, I was running away from my issues, running away from my problems. I had a bad day over there here in Dallas, bro. It was horrible. Like, she hit the fan, bro. But around that time, I was already disconnected from my spirit. I was super disconnected from my spirit that, like, I didn't care no more. So I left, but I was over there with my anxiety, my issues, all that. This year, I had to fix and heal all of that, even in romance, bro. Because, you know, having Saturn in the 11th house in Gemini, it's about like partnerships, relationships, all that shit. So the biggest lessons I learned is through relationships. So I always had issues with relationships, bro. Like, whether it be through like a female or whatever. Like, you know, like, either I attract a girl whose dad used to be an alcoholic, used to like hit her mom, while she used, you know, while he was drunk. And then me, I'll be over here sipping and shit, just chilling. But the whole time, it's just some crazy shit, bro, you know? Hold on. You know, just literally some crazy shit, bro. And I was like, bro, I gotta fix this shit. I locked in. Boom, I locked in. Alright, guys, I had a technical difficulty. But boom, bro, I locked in. And, dude, I fixed all of my problems, like, real deal. Like, healed myself so deeply. And now I'm ready for, like, a serious relationship. And I'm not... O sea, lo voy a decir en español. Yo ni soy ningún mujeriego o nada de eso. O sea, yo quiero amor con una chica sola y que nomás con ella. You know, literally, bro. And she just changed so deeply, bro. I'm at the last stage of my Saturn, of my pre-Saturn return, bro, and I fixed everything. Every issue I had, everything that used to bother me when I was young, I fixed it. I healed it. I got it right, you know? So listen, bro, boom. You know, shout out to Javion. It was my homeboy Javion's birthday, bro, November 10th. His birthday. You know, we were at work chilling. I'll never forget this shit, bro. I woke up hungover. I wasn't even gonna go to work. Cause, you know, at that job, bro, like I said, they pay you a low pay, but it's a chill job just cause, like, you can go in whenever the fuck you feel like it. Like I said, they hire felons, work release people, all that shit. So I was gonna go to work, but I woke up late. I wasn't even gonna go to work. I was not gonna show up. I already knew I was on thin ice because I was showing up late then. I stopped caring at this point. Because I already knew I fixed everything that needed to be fixed. And I saved enough that needed to be saved. So I go to work, get there late than a hoe. My partner's birthday, shout out to Javion. Man, bro, like, you know, our break was like, it was early. We go on break. You know, me and Javion, we start drinking, bro. All of us in that bitch, we start sipping, bro. Tell me why, bro. I told Javion, I'm like, hey, bro. Like, he's like, I'm like, hey, bro, before you sip this shit, bro, set an intention, make a wish before you drink that hoe. Boom, bro. He does that. Bro, within, like, not even 5 minutes, the security guard at our job pulled up. And mind you, bro, he's always seen us be on some crazy, like, be out there smoking, sipping, like, this ain't regular shit. This ain't shit. He rolls up on us and holds us, bro. Basically, we're fired from there on because he caught us like, oh, y'all drinking on the job? Boom, fired. Boom, right? Get out of here. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and I already knew this was like part of my journey, bro. Within the same day, I found a new job. I'm like, what the fuck? Literally, like, bro. And I start realizing, because I knew my Saturn return ends on my birthday. And it's so close to my birthday. You know, my birthday's on December 5th. And I'm like, whoa, bro, hold on. A lot of shit is changing super, super, super fast. I'm like, yo, I got locked in. I gotta make sure I get this shit right. Long story short, bro, everything is okay. My advice to you watching this, lock in, bro. Overcome these obstacles. Truly, like, I would avoid them. For the longest, I would avoid them. I would avoid my responsibilities. I would avoid trying to get shit right. I would avoid it all the way. I never saw it through. I would avoid it. I would always avoid it. Since I was young, I would avoid it. I avoided school. I avoided all that shit. I avoided it. Don't get me wrong. My shit still played out for my highest journey. Hold on, I'm about to hurt. Excuse me. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. But yeah, you know, I would avoid everything, bro. And my 22nd, like, I'm 22. This 22-year birth of mine forced me to get everything right. Forced me to balance all my shit out. Forced me to lower down my spirituality, come down to my ego, to fix everything with my family, with relationships, with everything, bro. Heal myself, prepare myself for a serious relationship to where my insecurities are not gonna leak into it. And bro, it was just so crazy, bro. So with all that being said, I say this to you, bro. Along your journey, don't ever quit. Always give it your all. Literally, bro. Even if you do everything right, be happy and be grateful for the fact you did everything you could, bro. Don't ever give up. Like, as long as you do everything you could, you never truly fail, bro. As long as you do everything in your power and do everything you can do, you will never fail, bro. Because there's always higher powers watching this. Whether you believe in a God up there, whether you believe in yourself, whatever, bro. Don't let yourself down, bro. Learn to hold your own weight. Learn to push for yourself. Learn to fend for yourself. Learn to survive for yourself, bro. You ain't gonna get too far, bro, sitting around praying for shit without taking action, bro. Sitting around manifesting shit without taking action. Sitting around asking for the universe without taking action. You never get too far with doing that, bro. You gotta be grateful, bro. You gotta learn to hold your own weight. Having gratitude is one of the biggest things, bro. And having gratitude is counting one's blessings, bro. What are you blessed with, bro? Do you still have your mom in your life? That's what, bro. That's a blessing, bro. Not a lot of people have that, bro. There's a lot of people out here that wish they could see their moms, bro, and they can't because she passed away. Crossed over to the other side. Don't ever give up, bro. Keep shit pushing. Keep shit stiff, bro. Count your blessings. Whatever blessings you have, count them, bro. Keep it pushing. You know, ignore all the bullshit. Stay away from the drama. Stay away from that. Cut anybody off that gotta be cut off, bro. Cut them off, bro. I've had to learn along my journey. I wouldn't say I had to cut too many people off, bro, because I didn't. I always was a lonely soul. Like, I got the shit alone tatted on my face. Like, you can't see it, but I got alone tatted there, bro. I'm gonna make a video on my tattoos because I have a lot of spiritual tattoos, but I got the word alone, bro. where it is, because I am a solitude soul, bro. I stay to myself. And I know when I attract a relationship to me, it's going to be a girl that's not going to mind joining a part of my loneliness. She's going to be happy that she's a part of my little journey, you know? But really my big journey, because I have a lot of things I want to accomplish when I turn 23, bro. I shifted my mindset to the abundance mindset. I know I cut off all doubt, all fear. Every time I feel doubt or fear, I shut that shit down. And I switch the subject to something positive in my mind. It's no longer obstacle thinking shit's hard. Now it's like, I gotta do this shit for my higher self, for the journey I have ahead of me, for my kingdom, you know? And this life shit's gonna teach it to you guys, you know? Hold on. Drinking this Monster, guys, so chill. I'm drinking the Monster, bro. Drinking the Monster. Let me take another shot out that hoe. Hold on. So that journey, bro, this journey has taught me a lot. Keeping my head up, keeping it moving when I know I could spaz and not keep it moving, bro. You know, this is my last few days in Texas, bro, and I do not want to come back at all, bro. Man, bro, so many people want to shout out, though, for real, bro, that hold meaningful moments in my journey, bro. Shout out to Gretel, bro. Gretel, Naudia, Sincere, Reed, Javion, a bunch of Mia, who else, bro? Fucking Natalie. You know, a lot of people, bro, on my journey that changed me, shaped me, made me a better version of me, even though it hurt in that moment. And I'm the biggest believer that what truly makes a man is how he takes a L, bro. Literally, how he takes a L is gonna be the biggest factor of it, bro. Are you gonna sit around and bitch and whine about it, or are you gonna take that L like a man and keep that shit pushing, bro? That's what really make a man, bro. Learning how to take a loss when it's hard on you, bro. When it's fucking humiliating to take that loss, bro. When someone just hasn't happened to me, but you ever found yourself on the other side of that gun with one of your close friends ups a stick on you, robs you for all you got, and you learn to let bygones be bygones and keep that shit pushing and keep your own self? You took an L, you kept it pushing, bro. What shapes a man is how he bounced back from an L, bro. And that's one of the biggest things I'm never gonna forget in this life, bro. I can't forget that, bro. Cause guess what? That's what shapes you into who you need to become, bro. Cause now you know what signs to peep for in somebody who's moving shiesty, who's moving weird. Now you know what signs to peep at for someone who's moving wrong, that's not aligned with you. You know what to look for now. So where that's never gonna happen to you again, cause you know what to peep now. With that being said, guys, achieve your journey. Keep it pushing, win, survive. Don't allow yourself to drown in your own sorrow, bro. You're not gonna get too far doing all that, bro. With all that being said, guys, it's Alonzo signing out, bro. Peace.